You do not need a living trust unless you actually need one. How do you know if you need a living trust? Well, I'll ask you some questions and you can answer those through the screen here. Do you prefer privacy of your life savings and the assets that you own, or publicity of them where they're published online for anybody in the world to find out what you owned and even your net worth and valuation of each of them potentially? If you prefer privacy, you might be more interested in a living trust because a will is a public document in the public realm forever and ever that the whole world can see. Second, do you own a business? Do you own a LLC or a S Corp or C Corp or LP or partnership or something like that? If so, it's probably a good idea for you to consider a living trust for continuity purposes and also for privacy purposes. You take a private company, for example, and all of a sudden that private company has to go through the probate and through your will, and that valuation of that company might be listed online once it gets valued, and then your competitors know what your company's worth, and your other people, your neighbors, your nosy neighbors, your anybody can find out what your company was worth, right? There's a good chance that happens if it goes through probate. Why would you want that to happen? Keep it more private. Living trust might be good for you, but you got to talk to an attorney and find out your exact situation. Do you have real estate scattered around? Do you have real estate in another state? If so, a living trust may be something to consider, because if you have real estate in multiple states, then there's the potential and likelihood that your will actually have to be probated in each state. Even if it's just an ancillary probate, it can still cost money and time, and sometimes it's almost as if it's a full new probate proceeding in the other state as it was in Texas, for example, and that could happen in multiple states. Do you have timeshares? Same situation. Timeshare is considered real estate, right? You need to talk to the timeshare company to figure out what happens when you pass away. Let's see, what else is there? If you're creating subtrusts, like for your kids, or let's just say subtrusts to control the distributions over time, a trust may be a good option for you to consider. And do you have any tax planning or blended family planning issues? If you have a blended family, children from a prior marriage, then it could be very, very important for you to consider a trust. I'm not saying it's right for you, but for you to have that conversation to figure it out, the pros and the cons both ways. So I can't tell you whether a trust is right for you, but you don't need a trust unless you actually need a trust. So talk to a qualified attorney. I'm attorney Mike Massey. I'm a Texas estate planning attorney. I've helped over 1,000 families. Click below to learn more information, or simply look us up at Mike Massey Law. We'd love to have a conversation with you. Make today a great day.